Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 54. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year, this is for February 23rd. The Old Testament reading is from Exodus 33, from verse 7 through the end of the chapter, and Exodus 34. Exodus 33, verse 7. And Moses took the tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and he called it the tent of assembly. And all seeking Yahweh would go out to the tent of assembly which was outside the camp. And at the going out of Moses to the tent, all the people would rise and stand, each at the opening of his tent, and gaze after Moses until his entering the tent. And at the entering of Moses into the tent, the column of cloud would descend and stand at the opening of the tent, and he would speak with Moses. And all the people would see the column of cloud standing at the opening of the tent, and all the people would rise and bow in worship, each at the opening of his tent. And Yahweh would speak to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his neighbor. And he would return to the camp, and his assistant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, did not leave the middle of the tent. And Moses said to Yahweh, "See, you are saying to me, 'Take this people up.' But you have not let me know whom you will send with me. And you yourself have said, 'I know you by name, and you also have found favor in my eyes.' And now, if I have found favor in your eyes, make known to me, please, your way, and so I may know you, and so that I can find favor in your eyes. And see that this nation is your people." And he said, "My presence will go, and I will give you rest." And he said to him, "If your presence is not going, do not bring us up from here. And by what will it be known then that I have found favor in your eyes, I and your people? Is it not by your going with us? And so we will be distinguished, I and your people, from all the people who are on the face of the ground." And Yahweh said to Moses, "Also I will do this thing that you have spoken, because you have found favor in my eyes, and I have known you by name." And he said, "Please show me your glory." And he said, "I myself will cause all my goodness to pass over before you, and I will proclaim the name of Yahweh before you. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show compassion to whom I will show compassion." But he said, "You are not able to see my face, because a human will not see me and live." And Yahweh said, "There is a place with me, and you will stand on the rock. And when my glory passes over, I will put you in the rock's crevice, and I will cover you with my hand until I pass over. And I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face will not be visible." Exodus 34. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Cut for yourself 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on the tablets the stones that were on the first tablets which you broke. And be ready for the morning, and go up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself to me there on the top of the mountain. And no one will go up with you, and neither let anyone be seen on all the mountain, nor let the sheep and goats and the cattle graze opposite that mountain." And Moses cut 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and he started early in the morning, and he went up to Mount Sinai as Yahweh had commanded him. And he took in his hand the 2 stone tablets. And Yahweh descended in the cloud, and he stood with him there, and he proclaimed the name of Yahweh. And Yahweh passed over before him, and he proclaimed, "Yahweh, Yahweh, God, who is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding with loyal love and faithfulness, keeping loyal love to thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and he does not leave utterly unpunished, punishing the guilt of fathers on sons and on sons of sons on third and fourth generations. And Moses hurried and knelt down to the earth and worshipped. And he said, Please, if I have found favor in your eyes, Lord, let my Lord please go among us. Indeed, it is a stiff-necked people, and forgive our iniquity and our sin, and take us as your possession. And he said, Look, I am about to make a covenant. In front of all your people I will do wonders that have not been created on all the earth and among all the nations, and all the people among whom you are will see Yahweh's work, because what I am about to do with you will be awesome. Keep for yourself what I myself have commanded you today. Look, I am about to drive from before you the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Be careful for yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land to which you are going, lest it be a snare among you. Rather, you will tear down their altars, and you will break their stone pillars, and you will cut off their Asherah poles. For you will not bow and worship to another god, for Yahweh is jealous is his name. He is a jealous God. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they prostitute themselves after their gods, and they sacrifice to their gods, and they invite you, and you eat their sacrifice, and you take from their daughters for your sons, and their daughters prostitute themselves after their gods, and they cause your sons to prostitute themselves after your gods. You will not make gods of cast metal for yourself. You will keep the feast of unleavened bread. 7 days you will eat unleavened bread, which I commanded you, at the appointed time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib you came out from Egypt. Every first offspring of a womb is for me, all of your male livestock, the first offspring of cattle and small livestock. But the first offspring of a donkey you will redeem with small livestock, and if you will not redeem it, you will break its neck. Every firstborn of your sons you will redeem, and you will not appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you will work, and on the 7th day you will rest. In the time of plowing and in the time of harvest you will rest. And you yourself will observe the Feast of Weeks, the firstfruits of the wheat harvest, and the Feast of Harvest Gathering at the turn of the year. 3 times in the year all your males will appear before the Lord Yahweh, the God of Israel, because I will evict nations before you, and I will enlarge your territory, and no one will covet your land when you go up to appear before Yahweh your God 3 times in the year. You will not slaughter the blood of my sacrifice on food with yeast, and the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover will not stay overnight to the morning. The beginning of the firstfruits of your land you will bring to the house of Yahweh your God. You will not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. And Yahweh said to Moses, Write for yourself these words, because according to these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He ate no food and drank no water, and he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. And when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, the 2 tablets of the testimony were in the hand of Moses at his coming down from the mountain. And Moses did not know that the skin of his face shone because of his speaking with him. And Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, and to their amazement the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid of coming near to him. And Moses called to them, and Aaron and all the leaders of the community returned to him, and Moses spoke to them. And afterward all the Israelites came near, and he commanded to them all that Yahweh had spoken with him on Mount Sinai. And Moses finished speaking with them, and he put a veil on his face. And when Moses came before Yahweh to speak with him, he would remove the veil until he went out, and he would go and speak to the Israelites what he had been commanded. And the Israelites would see the face of Moses, that the skin of the face of Moses shone, and Moses would put back the veil on his face until his coming to speak with him. The New Testament reading is from Mark 7, verses 1 through 30. Mark 7. And the Pharisees and some of the scribes who had come from Jerusalem gathered to him. And they saw that some of his disciples were eating their bread with unclean, that is, unwashed, hands. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they wash their hands ritually, thus holding fast to the traditions of the elders. And when they come from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they wash. And there are many other traditions which they have received and hold fast to. For example, the washing of cups and pitchers and bronze kettles and dining couches. And the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, "Why do your disciples not live according to the tradition of the elders, but eat their bread with unclean hands?" So he said to them, "Isaiah prophesied correctly about you hypocrites, as it is written, 'This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far, far away from me. And they worship me in vain, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men.' Abandoning the commandment of God, you hold fast to the tradition of men." And he said to them, "You splendidly ignore the commandment of God so that you can keep your tradition. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and 'The one who speaks evil of father or mother must certainly die.' But you say, 'If a man says to his father or to his mother, whatever benefit you would have received from me is korban, that is, a gift to God, you no longer permit him to do anything for his father or his mother, thus making void the word of God by your tradition that you have handed down. And you do many similar things such as this." And summoning the crowd again, he said to them, "Listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside of a person that is able to defile him by going into him. But the things that go out of a person are the things that defile a person." And when he entered into the house away from the crowd, his disciples asked him about this parable. And he said to them, "So are you also without understanding? Do you not understand that everything that is outside that goes into a person is not able to defile him? For it does not enter into his heart, but into his stomach, and goes out into the latrine, thus declaring all foods clean." And he said, "What comes out of a person, that defiles a person. For from within, from the heart of people come evil plans, sexual immoralities, thefts, murders, adulteries, acts of greed, malicious deeds, deceit, licentiousness, envy, abusive speech, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile a person." And from there he set out and went to a region of Tyre. And when he entered into a house, he wanted no one to know, yet he was not able to escape notice. But immediately a woman whose young daughter was possessed by an unclean spirit, when she heard about him, came and fell down at his feet. Now the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nationality, and she was asking him that he would expel the demon from her daughter. And he said to her, "Let the children be satisfied first, for it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." But she answered and said to him, "Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." And he said to her, "Because of this statement, go, the demon has gone out of your daughter." And when she went to her home, she found the child lying on the bed, and the demon gone. The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 25, from verse 8 through 15. Psalm 25:8. Good and right is Yahweh, therefore He instructs sinners in the way. He causes the humble to walk in justice and teaches the humble His way. All the paths of Yahweh are loyal love and faithfulness for those who keep His covenant and statutes. Also, for the sake of your name, O Yahweh, forgive my sin, because it is great. Who is the man fearing Yahweh? He will instruct him in the way he should choose. His soul will lodge in prosperity, and his offspring will possess the land. Intimate fellowship with Yahweh is for those who fear Him, and He makes known His covenant to them. My eyes are continually toward Yahweh, because He will take my feet from the net. This concludes the reading for Day 54. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.